Thank you for joining us on the Dream Warrior Review, episode 19. I stole this from IMDb. A mother must protect her family on Christmas Day from a demented stranger who is hell-bent on tearing the family apart. Red Christmas.
Red Christmas.
This is another Australian movie.
Yeah, I noticed that. Another Australian movie.
That came out in 2016, just like Killing Ground did.
Yeah, and we have a nice contrast between Killing Ground, because Killing Ground was a type of horror film that I don't like done really well.
Right.
And this was a type of
right.
horror film that I like, but wasn't done well at all.
Right.
I mean, holy crap.
Yes. The first word in the movie is abortion.
Yeah.
No, and I knew something would be wrong.
Was there an agenda going on this? And okay, let's just talk for a minute about the bucket in the corner, all right?
And the hand.
And the hand. I mean, all by itself. Let's talk about the bucket in the hand. First of all,
and the hand wasn't the right size. I think it was an adult's hand.
It wasn't real. It was a norm. The first thing I thought to myself was, that hand is the only thing you could fit in the damn bucket. so what else? What else was attached to the hand?
Right.
You know, it was badly done.
Well, I knew when I heard abortion was the first word. I'm like, oh no.
Things are.
And then the first murders, the first death. I was
wait, yeah. Should we spoil that though?
I don't know. Is this one that people are going to be clamoring to see?
I mean, think so.
Probably not.
Oh
we
my
probably
gosh,
spoil the hell out of it.
No,
I think we should just spoil the hell out of it.
And
Spoilers. I'll just put that in the description. We have tons of spoilers.
Spoilers, yeah. Spoiler alert.
But I do like Sam Bazooka Campbell played Cletus. I just love that name.
I was gonna say, I swear. What does it say right here? What's the first thing that I wrote? Cletus?
But Sam Bazooka Campbell was the actor's name, and I was like, "Oh, that is awesome." And then I noticed Dee Wallace.
Why Dee Wallace has
been
around for
when
ages.
I saw Dee Wallace, I was like, "I know this lady. Who is she?" And I had looked her up.
Are you kidding? She's in like in every damn horror film that ever
I noticed.
existed.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Alligator 2.
No, but. Wasn't she in Craven's Last House on the Left?
Yeah, she was in Critters, the first one.
She was in Critters, the first one?
Yeah.
I mean...
She's been around for a long time. She's done
it
over
goes on and on and on.
236 credits to her name on IMDb. But it's... I thought...
I worked with her at some point. I didn't want to look through 236 credits.
Well, I looked her up when I first saw her on the screen. I was like, okay, I'm gonna look her up because I'm watching it at home, obviously Netflix, so I can use my phone.
Right.
But I'm looking her up, and I'm like, maybe she'll carry the movie a little bit. And I think she tried to, but she really didn't carry it.
The thing is she has a really specific short-term role that she normally plays, and gets killed off.
She gets killed early on,
or eliminated just because she's the mother or something like that.
Yeah.
She has a thing, and in this one, I think it was ambitious for her. Let's just put it that way.
Well,
I've never thought that she was a great actress.
Yeah, and they killed in the wrong order because they killed the cute girl first. I mean, that was my complaint, but
that was the cute girl.
You saw the cast.
Yeah,
they weren't really cute.
Yeah, I know, that's true.
But you lied to me. You said that Australian films tend to be fast-paced. This was a slow mother film. But no, it was very slow, and I was like, felt like I was being tortured a little bit. But I just love how she was cut in half, though. We have to talk about that. Okay, because it's not even possible.
Because
it's not with an axe.
With an axe in one stroke. Right down the middle from behind.
And she felt like paper.
It falls like in two pieces. Yes. One to the left and one to the right.
I felt like I was watching Scream.
I was like...
Or not Scream.
Holy,
one of those parodies of horror movies.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's basically what I felt like it was. But they're trying to be serious. It doesn't work.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, when somebody falls like that, like one piece down, I would go with the umbrella through the mouth, falling off the stairs onto an umbrella, so it goes through your head, and then in the end it opens.
Yes, it opens.
Yeah,
and
that's
the body exploded. Yes, that was
the opening was like
he had another axe scene. He killed somebody else in the head with an axe, but it didn't go all the way through. It stopped like past the eyes. I think.
Like what happened there?
And then the blender.
The blender was the only cool one.
That was pretty cool.
The blender was
What was the movie we saw?
Although
there was a movie.
Which that doesn't look real. That wouldn't have happened.
But that was cool to see the blood swirling around
up to the eyes.
But there was a movie we saw that was it had a scene where the lady got stuck in the garbage disposal.
Exactly. I thought about that too immediately. I thought, well, we've seen this before.
Right, and it's just, there's no way anybody could die that way.
When I was working in the film business and working in horror, we would be very careful and kind of let each other know what we were doing so that we wouldn't duplicate each other. So that we would, you tried to do your effects, you
mean like with other people making other movies? Is that what you mean?
Right,
okay.
Right. Well, with the people that we knew making that, so that you weren't going to duplicate somebody else's effect. I mean, you needed to know.
Try to be unique.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is.
But axes are pretty. I mean, old fashioned. Pretty much the only one way to kill somebody with an axe. You just hack them to death, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, exactly. But I think that we were doing a little bit beyond the slasher kind of thing. I mean, we were more into the bizarre and.
You're talking about like Nightmare on Elm Street. You had a lot more creativity, I think, as far as how people died.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Because it was a dream world.
Exactly. But the thing is like we wouldn't want to do the same type of effect. Like the room goes upside down in the original and all the blood comes back through, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be able to do that again. But they didn't want to go with the stigma of having used that room again. See? So, I mean, the next thing that used that room again that I know of was, and it was me, was on Breaking 2. See, it was okay because it shifted genre.
Right.
Yeah.
Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. Was that the one?
Electric Boogaloo.
The second one.
Don't say anything about Electric Boogaloo.
So what about the room? How'd you use it in the Breaking 2?
Oh, he dances on the ceiling.
Okay, so
sort of the copy of the Fred Astaire.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So from blood to dancing, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Blood on the dance floor, Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
It's all connected.
There you go.
So, I mean, I don't know if we want to mention anymore, but I wrote down everything just because it was so bad. Why was the lighting so bad in the house? I mean, they had like red light here. They had some Christmas lights. Everything was really dark.
Yeah, I think part of it had to do with the fact that it was a practical location. They were obviously using
They were in a real house.
They were in a real house, and a lot of their lighting didn't have options, which is why you light on the set. Like it's why that living room was so perfectly lit in the Babysitter, except for I'm sure that they duplicated part of that on the stage, and then the stairway they went back to do all the stuff in the stairways on that location.
There's no comparison with the Babysitter in this one, really.
Oh, none.
So the story was bad. The story was pretty bad. The acting was bad. I mean,
there was one thing where the priest goes to like knock one off in the closet. I mean,
a Kleenex. Yeah, he grabbed Kleenex
with a Kleenex, and the fact that it was rocking back and forth. And I just wrote this down for reasons that we will never understand. I wrote, if this confessional's rocking, don't bother knocking. But it was a closet. Sorry.
Well, it actually looked like a confessional. Actually, I don't know. There wasn't really any redeeming scenes. I mean, I almost kind of liked the scene where the baby was being born. Meanwhile, the things are happening outside. I mean, I'm stretching here. One of the actors was the guy that played Peter.
Yeah, was Down syndrome. Yeah,
Down syndrome.
I thought he did a pretty good job,
and I thought he was one of the better actors.
Yeah,
honestly.
he was. I can't believe some of the stupid stuff I started to write down. When the umbrella popped open, I wrote, "It's raining men." Ugh, wow.
I said the pregnant belly has to be fake. That's what I wrote down.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
well, wait a minute. But wait a minute. When she has the boy, and she's holding the boy on the wide shot, and you're looking right at her belly, the boy is sitting on top of the belly. Yeah, which I thought... Well, what happened there? I think she was pregnant.
So, okay, there's one death scene I like, which is, it reminded me of a lot of older movies where, I can't remember, I'm blanking on it now, but when she was hiding in the big stuffed animal.
Yeah. What was that?
And he just basically pulls the stuffing out.
Oh, I thought.
That was probably one of my favorite death scenes. I like that one.
Oh, really?
Because the blood was coming out, and the stuffing was coming out, and then you just see the stuffed animal fall.
So the stuffed animal itself was your favorite.
Not the stuffed animal itself, but the whole scene was interesting.
Yeah, it was.
And the baby was,
safe.
Yeah, safe.
Baby was safe in the end. Yeah. Oh, we have to bring up the bear trap.
Oh, the bear trap. I wrote that down too. Yes.
Yeah.
I said bear trap ? I'm like, why? That's what I said.
I wrote fear trap.
Jesus. So this movie was so bad, we're trying to find a creative way of writing our notes. That's basically how bad it is.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's Raining Men. I mean,
so out of five.
How about this one? Eyes are the blood faucet of the soul. Oh, by the way, and this is a weird one. Nobody ever cocked the shotgun.
Right.
Never. And it was most obviously the cocking style. The two hammers are right up there on the top. And absolutely everybody that fired that thing off in it fired off all the time. Nobody ever bothered to cock it. Now, it surprises me that somebody didn't catch that.
It doesn't really surprise me.
I mean, but yeah, okay.
I mean, we can cut a guy in half with an axe. Well, they probably forgot to load the shotgun.
That's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah. Okay, I'm with you on that.
So overall, it was how many stars would you give it out of 5?
Sure.
I'd give it a star just for effort, and maybe half a star for some of the creative things they did. I don't know, the lighting.
Well, I'm going to give it a 1.5, and the half is a half of the actress.
Right, half of the actress.
Half of the actress. Okay, so it's one and a half actresses.
That's about what I give it. Yeah, I feel sorry for D.
You know what? You know what was funny though, and I really did notice this is a story came to mind.
Did you ever do any effects, or did you ever have an effect you worked on that you felt like, oh, that did not work out. That was a waste of time. It looks like crap. I don't want to put my name on it. Anything like that? Did that ever happen to you? Like, where something went on the film, but you were kind of regretted it? That's my question.
Oh my God, are you kidding?
What's your favorite one then?
Let me tell you the difference between being a production designer and doing effects. Production design,
which is what you did most of the time, right? Production designer.
Production designer most of the time, yeah. As a production designer, it always works.
Right.
As an effects person, if you're doing 80%, it's glorious. And which is part of the reason that people use so much that the CGI effects became so popular is because, special effects was just always it had that percentage in it,
Yeah.
Just it was always there. Sometimes it just wouldn't work.
I was just curious.
There was something that was interesting, and this is just for me personally, and it reminded me of when we saw the cop car that they drive on the other side of the road.
Story time.
Story time with
It's story time with Mick. Story time with Mick.
Story time with Mick.
Story time with Mick. Story time with Mick. Story time.
I actually got my license, my driver's license, for driving on the other side of the road when I was in New Zealand. And
you have to get a license for that?
Well, you do if you're going to be there for a certain period of time. I was going to be there for a year and a half. So
yeah.
I finally went in and went through the whole process.
So if you're in a rental for 2 days, you could do whatever the hell you want. But
yeah.
That seems crazy
yeah. It does seem. And let me tell you something. Driving on the wrong side of the road, it's. Let's put it this way. I learned how to do it, and I got pretty good at it, but I'm going to go with the advice that I gave one of the directors that came in. He came in probably 2 months after I'd been there, and he said that the thing that he wanted to do is he wanted to drive on the wrong side of the road. I said, right. Well, let me tell you something about that then. Fine. Drive on the wrong side of the road. But trust me in this. If you're driving down the road and you start to whistle a tune to yourself and you're feeling great, and you're feeling happy, and you break out into that Foreigner song that's always hanging in your mind like an earworm, get the hell back on the right side of the road.
Right.
And he thought that was really funny, right?
Right.
So must have been a week and a half later, he comes up and he goes, "Oh my God." He says, "I was out headed towards Rotorua, and I'm on that long stretch up there, that winding stretch, where there's the trees and everything and all the beauty, and I'm going down the road, and sure enough, a song came on the radio, and I'm feeling great, and I'm singing at the top of my lungs, and all of a sudden, I hear your voice say, 'Get back on the right side of the road,' and I look up, and there's a truck right in the same lane as I am, coming right straight towards me. And I swerve and come over, and he says, 'Oh my God, it's so right.'" And that's true, because as long as you're riding, as long as, you driven for a lot of years on one side of the road, and it is not something that you lose quickly. I mean, you even notice that you walk on the wrong side of the road. I mean, walking down the street would be just like, if I did it in traffic, I would, like heavy in the middle of Auckland, I would be walking down like one of the main streets or something like that, and it would just be boom, boom, it would
you're on the
be
wrong
like
side.
I was on the wrong side, And the other thing is when I was there, one of the first things that happened is I almost broke my foot. I looked down looked the wrong way around a turn, and a Mini Cooper came up, and just as I stepped off, came from the other direction, the side that I wasn't looking at,
Of course. Yeah.
of course, and ran over my foot.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It is a thing. Driving on the wrong side of the road is a thing, but I did get my license, and there's another thing that they do when you're down there. They give you a license for the rest of your life, right? You only get it once. And I've lost mine since, but, they don't put a picture on it, and you only get it once.
So if it's for the rest of your life, how'd you lose it?
Shut up.
Sorry, I had to make that joke.
Yeah. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, so they give you when I went in for the driving test, I went in and I had there was a written test, and I passed the written test, and then there was a driving test, and I passed the driving test, and we came back in, and we're sitting, and I'm sitting, and we're sitting in this like little room, and he brought out papers, which I thought was the license, that his final paperwork, and he'd ask me kind of a question, and I said, oh yeah, and then and this went on like for probably about 15-20 minutes, and then he looks up and he says, okay, well, you failed.
Oh.
I go, what do you mean I failed? He says, well, you did great on the written, and the driving was perfect, but you didn't pass the verbal test. I go, this was a test? So then I had to wait 2 weeks and go back in again.
Wow. So you thought you were just chatting?
I thought we were just chatting. Come on. When was the last time you took a verbal driving test? Yeah, exactly. Never.
I don't remember the last time I took a verbal test.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe in college. I don't know.
Yeah, some people. It's almost like they were a different country.
They probably talked funny too, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it's weird.
What was that all about? Yeah.
I would have to turn off the radio and actually focus really hard to make sure I stay on the right side.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's funny because I had a white VW van, and I had a huge arrow that was taped on the glass on the very top of the windshield. And the arrow came across and pointed to the curb. And it said, the curb is on this side, dummy.
Did you put that there yourself?
Yeah, I put that. I
thought maybe the driving instructor.
Oh no, nope.
Right.
It was me. I wanted to live.
Yeah. Well, everybody wants to live.
Yeah.
Look at downsizing. I just have a feeling that's going to be about life.
There you go.
I'm Kurt Thomas along with Mick Strawn. We thank you for joining us on Dream Warrior Review. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can reach us by email at dreamwarriorreview@gmail.com or on Facebook and Twitter at DW Review. See you next time on Dream Warrior Review.